Again. I'm here to talk to you in this video about the engagement-based grading agreement. So if you click on the second link from the left on your on the website, you will come across this site. If you need to download this PDF, you can download it right here, or you can just use the light box to scroll through it. So I have a grading philosophy here. I just want to read the first paragraph real quickly. This document articulates my agreement with you. If you complete the required work, that is meeting the required criteria, which constitutes B-level work, you will earn at least a B in this class. If you do not complete the work or the work's criteria, your grade will be incrementally reduced to reflect the work you have not completed. If you engage with the course in extra ways that support good studenting habits, you can incrementally raise your grade. And this class is based upon what I call a MICE grading system. The reason that I am using this grading system is not just a crazy DePew thing. There are books like Feldman's Grading for Equity, Susan Bloom's edited collection called Ungrading, which is probably the most influential for me, and then Asao Inue's Anti-Racist Assessment Equality. So these are what have informed my approach to grading the class. And one of the things that these books talk about is trying to focus more on assessing what students do for you in a class rather than trying to assess what they bring to the class with them. So if some of you come in and you're experts with technology, whereas some of you really are starting from zero, it would be unfair to give a higher grade to those people who already have this expertise or knowledge, as opposed to those who are pretty much starting from zero. So this is grading your effort in the class and what you do. So in many ways, it is instead based upon, it's not necessarily based upon quality of your work, it is based upon the completion of your work. But there is a quality component in looking for you to fulfill certain criteria to reach certain expectations, thus certain quality of the work. So what does MICE stand for? MICE stands for missing, incomplete, complete, and extra. And that's extra engagement. Missing's pretty straightforward. If you don't do the work and it's not submitted on time, then that is going to be detrimental to your grade. And I do give you to the point that I return all the work to the students. If you haven't submitted it by that point, it's considered missing. That gets subtracted from your grade. Incomplete work pretty much means that you did it, but it also means that you didn't completely meet the criteria. So what I will do is I will tell you, my apologies, what I will tell you to do is do X, Y, and Z. If you do these, I will move your score from an incomplete to a complete. And actually, some of you have already experienced that. Complete work. You've done the work, done it on time, and you've met all the criteria. Great. And extra engagement. I'm going to explain that in detail. Now, Canvas doesn't totally work the best with this system. It just allows you to mark things as complete and incomplete. So if you get this like pink box with the dash in it, that means your work is missing. So if you look on there and see that, you know that you have at least one missing work. If you see the X in your grade book, that means that you have incomplete work. You can revise that and resubmit it. If you get the green check, you have if you get the green check, that means you've done complete work, and you're fine. Now, you can also do extra engagement work. And the extra engagement work is its own kind of section in Canvas, because there's no function in Canvas that allows you to mark for extra engagement. So, basically, extra engagement is doing studenting work, doing work that good students do. So it's being extra engaged in the course, and by doing that extra engagement, that will raise your grade from a B to a B plus to an A minus or an A. So some of the options that you have are you can speak back to the instructor. After I post some questions to your initial response, in my feedback, if you want to respond to any of those questions, that will give you extra engagement credit. So you could do that 3 times throughout the course of the semester. You could become a super reader. In the annotations and perusal, you're only expected to do 200 words. If you do 400 words in a week, that will also get you extra engagement credit. You can do that 3 times throughout the semester. You can tend and report on a digital writing related event. If I see things, I will post them to the class. If you see something, send it to me. If it's something that your peers can also go to, this isn't a competition, I will then submit it to the entire class. But if it's something that only you have access to because it's taking place in Seattle where you're at, then just let me know what it is, how you think it's related to the class, and I'll say, yeah, that's good. You should go do that. The first assignment you could do a peer review of. There's already peer review kind of built into the next 2 assignments, so that's why I'm not giving extra engagement for those. Making it real. For the multimodal project text that you are producing, if you put it out in the public, you're supposed to be creating a multimodal text for a specific purpose to a specific audience. If you send it to that specific audience, if you make it available to that specific audience, and you can give me evidence of that, that is another way of earning extra engagement. And then there's a design your own, which is, these are things, everything I've discussed so far are things that I came up with, but maybe you can come up with something that you're like, well, I think this is a way of being extra engaged in this class. So I'm very open to that as well. What you'll see here, excuse me, is that if you have missing work, that's going to be -1 from the baseline B grade. Incomplete, -0.5 point. Complete, 0, which means it doesn't change from the B baseline. And also E, that adds a point to the baseline B. And then you can see how things change with extra work and incomplete. You may have some incomplete and or some incomplete and missing and some extra. Those will balance each other out, depending on how many you have. So if you have 5 extra and 3 missing, you end up with +2, which is a B plus in the class. I know this is weird. I know this is strange. It is one of my ways that I am working towards equity in terms of being an educator. I recognize that it is not perfect, but I do think it's better than the traditional A through F scale where everybody starts at 100% and it becomes my job to sit there and say, now what did you do wrong? And start looking for things that you didn't do well as a way of assessing you. This way I can focus more on what you are doing right than what you are doing wrong. It allows me to be more of a guide on the side than somebody whose job it is to discipline you by telling you how you are making deviations from perfection. If you have any questions on this, I encourage you to let me know. Again, my email is kdepew@odu.edu, and I look forward to working with you throughout the semester. Take care.